We've already covered a few Jack Black movies, and amongst those are some good ones, and amongst those there is a few weaker ones. Where does this one hold up? Let's find out in just a second. However, before we get into all that, comment down below what your thoughts are on this movie, and also hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and let's jump right into this. So for me, Jack Black's best film is easily School of Rock, and I'll tell you why. Because in most of his films, he comes across as quite annoying in my personal opinion. Let us know if you agree with that opinion, because I think there'll be a lot of people that disagree with that. However, that annoying energy and that passionate energy that he brings works in many of his roles as well. Like likes of Kung Fu Panda with a voiceover, that is always creative and always works. And for Poe, there's nobody else I can imagine that plays that character better than he could. And I think the exact same with this. I don't think anybody can bring the passion, the energy, or the charisma to this role that he does. You've just got to appreciate that. Even though I'm not a fan of Jack Black, I think that him in this film is great, and you can only admire that because he comes across as very inspirational, very motivational. However, I think that the main thing to love about this film is the story, as the story is fantastically well written and is genius in a way, as it's just about this loser wannabe rock star who gets dumped out of his band for basically playing long solos and being selfish. And then he finds himself with no job, no money, living in his friend's flat, and doesn't really have much money to his name and can't pay half of the rent and blah 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 blah. However, when his friend goes out, his phone is left there and he answers the phone, and his friend's a substitute teacher, so then he basically answers it as him, picks up a job as a substitute teacher, and then gets into the classroom, and he's just there to pick up his paycheck, sit there, kids do what you want, know what I mean, I'm just doing my thing, you do yours. And then it's only until he hears the music class that they go to where he finds that they have real talent and real potential to be turned into a rock band, where then he basically turns the whole class in a motivational, inspirational way into a cool little rock band called the School of Rock, and then they end up going to the Battle of the Bands, and that is basically the whole film wrapped into a nutshell. And to me, I think that's a fantastic, well-written story, in my opinion. And I think it's exciting, it's motivational, inspirational, getting these kids who are, you know, just normal classical music players and turning them into rock and roll stars and making them feel like their own stars in a way. They managed to come together and create this cool little group. And in this film, they managed to show like the strengths of every person in the band along the film. And there's times where some of the people in the band, some of the kids, are like afraid to be themselves, and they're in a nutshell a bit like, I don't know, because they might think this, or I'm scared to sing, or such and such like that. And it's cool watching Jack Black talk them into playing because he's cool and whatever, and will hype them up into doing the performance because he knows the potential is there for them to do that. And that is fucking phenomenal in my opinion. I love that. And to me, as a music lover myself, I find that watching this film is just an enjoyment. Even from watching in 2024, the same enjoyment is still there. And yeah, I think it's just a fantastic, well-written film. And if you haven't seen it and you love fucking music, I would go check it out if I was you. On the ending, I felt it encapsulates everything that this movie is all about. And the enjoyment and everything like that comes to a great ending with that. But before we get on to that, I just want to talk a little bit about the part in between, because Mr. Schneebly, aka Dewey Finn, gets the sack from the school that he's working at because they find out that he's not actually a substitute teacher. And in these days, you'd probably get arrested. I'm not even kidding. However, he somehow gets off scot-free a little bit and sits in his flat. Then the kids come and take him and say, look, we've got a gig to play, we've trained all this time, there's no point wasting that. And then they go together and then go to the event where they play the gig, and they absolutely rock the show, and they're the best band there clearly, and they get the crowd on board. However, they don't manage to win the Battle of the Bands, which is a little bit disappointing, but then the crowd cheer for an encore, and then we get to see the band really take form and really get to show each character in that band and how they come across and show their real personality, in which is really, really cool. Really, really great how they managed to showcase, like, oh, okay, we're giving Zach his solo, and it's really cool to see the band fully get the spotlight on everybody in the band, in which was fantastic. And to me, that is what encapsulates, and that's what's so lovable about this film. And some of the songs in this film as well were fantastic and really catchy, really thrilling to see these young kids and Jack Black along with them play these songs, and it just worked as an enjoyable family film. So to summarize this film then, for me, I think this is iconic. It still holds up to this day and easily is a 7.4 out of 10 and a great film. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a great film? Is it a bad film? Is it a terrible film? Is it an amazing film? Let us know all that jazz down in the comments down below, please, if you wouldn't mind. And also hit that like button, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.